Fellow YouTubers, today we're talking rejection. That horrid 9-letter word that everybody's experienced at least once in their lifetime. And if you're like me, well, let's just say I don't have enough fingers and toes to count that high. So for all those sulking gentlemen out there who didn't meet the expectations of some high and mighty princess, and for all the women who don't think that they're pretty enough, slim enough, or even sexy enough, I'm going to present to you two things that transform the way I thought about rejection as not only a positive thing, but a life-altering blessing. We all have the universal desire and inherent need to be loved, to find that one and only who will bring you eternal happiness, just like we see in the movies. We've all watched our favorite movie stars where they meet on cue in what the film industry calls the meet cute moment. You spend the next few hours pining over their blossoming relationship, and you think to yourself, why can't that happen to me? So you put yourself out there. You see that special girl or the strapping lad with the perfect abs. You confidently stride across the room. You introduce yourself, and out of nowhere, blam! Rejection kicks you right in the hinds part. Now, if you think being rejected by a stranger is bad, try being rejected by a woman you're supposedly in a relationship with. True story. After my divorce, I figured it was time to jump back into the saddle and get out there. I thought things couldn't have changed that much. Boy, I tell you, was I ever wrong. People got a whole lot meaner. The first woman that I dated after my divorce was Stephanie. We met through mutual friends and we really hit it off. We were like two peas in a pod. Even though I was fresh from a divorce, I wasn't jaded yet. I bought her flowers, chocolates, stuffed animals, jewelry, and even some sexy attire. Money was no object. So a year into our relationship, I turned to her one day and I said, not trying to sound materialistic or anything, but I've really noticed since we've been together, you really haven't done a whole lot to show me that, I'm kind of important to you. She responded by saying, I don't have a whole lot of money. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not really asking you to spend a whole lot of money on me. Just do something that just shows that, I'm kind of important to you. She looked perplexed and followed to ask, well, what do you mean? So I simply said, stop by my work, grab my keys, go back to my place, cook dinner with what's in the fridge, fire up some candles, put on a movie, and be all set for me when I come home. Everything you need is right there. $0 spent. It's just the thought. Without skipping a beat, this woman turns to me and says, well, if I do that, it makes me feel like I'm committed to you. Needless to say, my response wasn't very polite. So after a horrendous divorce, how could a woman that I cared for that much turn around and devastate me in a way that I never thought was possible? I became angry, frustrated, and depressed. I took it personally. How could she not want me? Why would she want her ex back? A man who would beat her up whenever the mood struck. I started drinking, tearing down my self-esteem. I started thinking that all women were this way. I became jaded, guarded, and had little belief in the prospect of love. Major trust issues developed. And because of that, I put out negative vibes, which in turn brought more negative people into my life. For years, this cycle continued. I kept on believing and saying, are women all crazy? Why do I keep meeting these nutcases? Why can't I meet a normal woman? Every time I met a woman, things always started out great. 3 months later, the crazy card came out, which confirmed my beliefs. And with each failed relationship, my thoughts becoming darker, the worse the next relationship got. It came to a point where I had negative emotions about all women. For years, this negative cloud followed me until one day things changed. And my ambassador of change was the most unlikely person you would ever imagine. So one day I respond to a call about a homeless man on property. I roll up and give him the spiel and request him to leave. He apologized. In the midst of escorting him off property, he turns to me and says, you look sad. I'm like, well, let me guess, girl trouble. So I humored him and said, I'm sure you know what it's like. He responds, I've had my share of heartache and rejection over the years. So jokingly I respond, have you figured out women yet? Nope, but I sure have figured out how to respond to them. So now I'm intrigued. What does this homeless dude know that I don't know? So I asked him, would you mind sharing some of your words of wisdom? When you can't get what you want, don't take it personally. Consider it universal protection and redirection. The universe knows this person or situation isn't good for you. So the universe steers you into the direction that you're supposed to be in. The second lesson he shared is the law of attraction. If you think negative things will happen to you. Since I've started thinking good things have happened to me. Like what? He proceeds to tell me about this amazing girlfriend of his. I asked him where she was. He says, shopping, right over there. He points to a woman dumpster diving. He was right. What right did I have to complain about my life? Why am I wallowing in self-pity over a woman not deserving of my love? I knew it was time for change. I mentally picked myself up, dusted myself off, and pressed forward in a new direction. I knew I was meant to meet this man. That call put me in the place I needed to be. I asked the universe for help, and I got just that. You see, everything in your life, good or bad, you attract into your life. Your entire life is a physical manifestation of the thoughts in your head. What you think about, you bring about. Since I've stopped being depressed over being rejected and started viewing it as universal protection and redirection, being rejected doesn't bother me anymore. It's water off my back. Since understanding and applying the law of attraction and thinking that all women are crazy, the only ones I have in my life now are positive ones. To quote Buddha, all that we are is a result of what we have thought. The same principles can be applied to anything. Instead of being upset because you didn't get the job you wanted, or the promotion you were expecting, the hot date you were hoping for, view it as universal protection when you cannot foresee, and redirecting you to where you are supposed to be. Remain positive. Mentally focus on what you want. Think positive and you will attract the right job, the right circumstance, or the right person for you. Start believing and practicing the principles of the law of attraction. Remember that rejection is universal protection and redirection. Put positive thoughts out into the universe. Believe in your value and in the power of your future. Believe that you will find that special somebody. And trust me when I say this, you will experience your own meet cute moment, just like you've seen in the movies. Life is what you make it, so make it great.
Hey man, don't let the pink sunglasses fool you.